Are you tired of struggling with your weight? Do you want to finally lose those extra pounds and feel confident in your skin? I can so relate, which is why I am going to share with you the habits I had to stop consciously and unconsciously engaging in order for fat loss, weight loss to become my new reality. So let's get started. First and foremost, I had to let go of late night snacking. I had developed a habit of having a couple handfuls of cashews, pecans, and walnuts. On autopilot, my hands would find themselves full of some crunchy goodness. To be honest, the day didn't feel complete without something salty and crunchy to chomp down on. It was a way for me to get out pent-up emotions, I would imagine. Eating nuts will not inherently cause weight gain unless eaten in excess. And that is exactly what I was doing, eating in excess of calories for my energy needs, then usually plopping down and going to sleep. If this sounds even remotely like you and you're finding it challenging to lose or maintain your weight within your ideal range, then it's time to break free from late night snacks and the cravings that they come from. I didn't ban cashews, pecans, or walnuts. I mean, after all, they are a good source of healthy fat, fiber, and they're tasty as all get up. Instead, I started nourishing my body with enough healthy whole foods earlier and throughout the day. And those nuts, instead of having them at nighttime, I would have them earlier in the day to break that unconscious habit I had of just eating them because it was a certain time at night, and that's just what I always did. And I noticed I was able to eat just the right amount without going back again and again or over consuming, because I usually had other things I had to do after I ate those nuts. And sitting down and plopping on the couch and doing nothing or going to sleep wasn't an option. So I didn't ban them, I just relocated them, and I did so much better. Interestingly, I discovered that my late night snacking was not only adding unnecessary calories and weight onto my frame, but mindless late night snacking was disrupting my sleep patterns, causing a vicious cycle that increased cravings and overeating the next day. Why not join me and put an end to those unchartered nibbles here and there, and I don't know, rest, go to sleep? Next on the list is mindless eating. Where late night snacking was a sport that happened during the nighttime, mindless eating was me taking in calories without regard to actual hunger. Are you even hungry? At random odd times throughout the day. If I was watching a show, I was eating. Scrolling on my phone, yep, eating. Reading emails, or just being in the kitchen, eating. I could be easily caught in the act of putting some kind of food into my mouth just because I had spied it. Studies have shown that when eating while distracted, we tend to eat more without even realizing it. So does this mean no more eating in front of the TV or while scrolling through our phones? Research would suggest we not eat while doing those things. I unfortunately haven't put that into practice as consistently. What I have done is I serve myself a full meal. I don't just eat out of bags and boxes. I serve myself a full meal. I take my time to chew each of the bites. I instill a one plate rule. Whatever I put on that one plate, that's all I have. No more. No going back for seconds. While watching a lighthearted, fun 30 minutes, no longer, show of some sort. Even if I'm going to continue to watch a show or a different show, I'm not eating. I'm going to take my plate away. I have set those standards and boundaries for myself. If you can't turn off the screens, practice noticing yourself savoring each bite, paying attention to your body's hunger and fullness cues, and respond in kind. How does that sound? Another habit I had to kick to the curb was drinking sugary beverages. Vanity wouldn't let me drink much soda during my teen and early adult years. I had seen far too many of my peers growing up who had consumed a lot of soda have bumpy, pimply faces. I just couldn't do it. My thinking was if soda did that to them, it was a hard pass for me. Energy drinks made me feel sort of like I was having an outer body experience, so I passed on that. But fruit fruit juice and Kool-Aid? Hello. Aside from being overloaded with amounts of liver-harming sugars, fruit juice calories can quickly add up. You see this bottle of apple juice? It's 120 calories for one serving. Since those liquid calories do absolutely nothing helpful for my health or my waistline, I swap fruit juices and red and purple Kool-Aid for water infused with fruits or mineral-rich vegetables, and herbal tea to stay hydrated and to support my fat loss goals. Now, let's talk about portion size. Did you know that portion size and serving size are not the same thing? Serving size is the amount of food people typically eat, a measurement of food that is appropriate for that food. Portion size is the amount of food we choose to eat, which could be more or less than the serving size. As you can probably rightly guess, I had earned a master's degree in eating more portions and serving sizes than my body needed or could use. My 80-pound weight gain was my signal that it was time for me to break free from the mentality that more is better when it came to food. With intention and planning, I started practicing attuning my senses and emotions to listening to my body's hunger and fullness signals. When my stomach starts growling, another signal for me was I would get a headache, my energy would be really low during atypical times, and when I'm wanting to eat food and not a particular kind of food, I'm hungry. When my hunger is specific in its request, then I know it's usually emotional or stress hunger for me, and not true hunger. I've noticed my hunger rarely reaching the extreme range since focusing on quality food versus quantity, the opposite of what I did when I was overweight. Have you identified your true hunger signs yet? You should if you haven't, because knowledge is power. After tackling the hardest part, food, and my relationship with food, I was more inclined to ditch living a sedentary lifestyle. I had more incentivizing energy to get off the couch and start moving. When there was 80 pounds more of me, I started with intentionally walking everywhere, every chance I got. Walking is a joint-friendly way to shed excess weight, but not cause cortisol spikes, nor increase our hunger. Join me here next week for more lifestyle and mindset habits. Eat well, stay active.